Okay, we're starting into section 11.1, ratio and proportion. And our goal in this section is to learn how to solve proportions, something that you started doing back in 6th grade. So here we have an equation that has a fraction on the left and a fraction on the right, and we call that kind of equation a proportion. Definition-wise, the values a and d are called the extremes, and the b and c are called the means. You'll want to remember these definitions for when we get to geometry. We'll actually define what a mean is a little bit differently. So the product of the means equals the product of the extremes. A lot of you were taught in junior high to cross multiply. That's what the product of the means equals the product of the extremes means. So if you have a problem, you say, we do know that 2/3 equals 4/6, and if we cross multiply, we can see that 2 times 6 also equals 3 times 4. That's kind of the proof that the product of the means equals the product of the extremes. We can also take a proportion and flip it over. There are a lot of properties of proportions, and this is just one of them. And so it allows you to flip any kind of proportion anytime you want. And we know that this is true because if we know 2/3 is equal to 4/6 and we flip it over, we also know that 3/2 is equal to 6/4. Alright, so let's solve this proportion. We have 10 over t equals 2t over 5. Product of the means equals product of the extremes, or cross multiply. And when we do that, we're going to get 10 times 5 equals t times 2t. 10 times 5 is 50. T times 2t is 2t squared. Now we'll divide both sides by 2. So t squared equals 25. And now we have to introduce a new operation into our solving, and that is square rooting. So now at this point we could take the square root of both sides, and whenever we take the square root of both sides, we have to remember that there will be both a positive and a negative answer. And we know this is true, and why is this true? Well, the positive one is easy to understand. If we take 5 and we plug it in for t, 5 times 5 is 25. That makes the equation true. Negative 5, if we plug in for t, negative 5 times negative 5 equals positive 25. That's how we have two solutions here, a positive and negative. So remember, anytime you take the square root of both sides, you introduce a plus and a minus into your answer.